Alright guys, alright, back again with another week of toy pickups. I was almost not going to do this particular video because I have some other stuff coming in next week and I didn't get much this week, so I figured maybe I'd just do it together as one big reveal. But I figured I'd keep the schedule and just show you what I got. Plus I tend to ramble, and if I don't tell you what I got right now, that video is going to end up being like 30 minutes long, and it really should not be that long. Alright, so this week, if you guys didn't know, or actually not too long ago, was my birthday. And one of the things that I got was actually a birthday present. So I recently got, by the way, if you guys care about my birthday and you want to send me a birthday gift, please do so. I'm more than welcome to accept a birthday gift. Don't ask me how I am. Obviously, I'm not too old or I can't collect toys, but I will be happy to accept any birthday present out there from you guys. Just look in the description on how to contact me. All right, so this week I got Zartan, the Super 7 version, which is a great figure, and I only didn't have this particular version because I don't collect Super 7. Super 7 is super expensive, and I figure I could get 2 Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified for the same price of Super 7. So it's something I've always wanted because it's probably the most accurate version of Zartan that we're ever going to get, probably ever been released. Because that's what Super 7 does. They actually keep the, they try to match the animation as much as possible, and they've done so with this particular feature, with this figure. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do a review on this thing, but one of the great things about this one versus the Hasbro one, which I do have the Hasbro one, is that this one has the color change feature with light, as opposed to the temperature one that Hasbro did, which, yeah, they did it, but I don't want to keep sticking it in the freezer and pulling it out every time I want to have them change color. This one I do like with the light. My only downside with this is my only Super 7 figure, so now either I have to start collecting Super 7, or I have to figure out an interesting way to display him because he's not really going to match my G.I. Joe Classified. So I'll probably just come up with an 80 theme shelf or something like that, which I will put him in. And he's got like all the hands and heads and stuff like that, so I'm super excited to take him out. I haven't taken him out yet because I haven't figured out where I want to display him. Alright, so other thing that I got, if you guys have watched the channel before, you notice that I do shorts on my toy hunts, where I go to Ross and Ollie's, because I'm always seeing people at Ross and Ollie's getting all the good deals and finding all the great figures at a great price. Unfortunately, I'm not that lucky when I go to Ollie's or Ross. I'm always either late or too early, and I never get anything that I want or I don't already have. So this week was one of the times where I actually found something. It actually turned out really, really well. So what I actually found was the Thor and Destroyer 2-pack. This is something I really, really wanted because I am a Thor fan. Chris Hemsworth helped with that. I didn't really care for him in the comic books, but now Chris Hemsworth has made me a Thor fan. So I've really, really wanted this 2-pack. Not for Thor, but for the Destroyer himself. Because I have a Thor, the Mafex one, and I prefer this one. This one's very articulate, and I like this. He's very comic-y to me, and I know some people didn't like this particular one because they felt like he wasn't big enough. But for me, it's the it's not the size of the boat, the motion of the ocean. So I didn't need a super huge Thor. He was big enough for me. But what I really wanted was a huge Destroyer. So this is when I become like a size queen. This Destroyer is huge. This thing's like, it's got to be like 8-9 inches tall. So he's about the size of my Juggernaut that I had to actually verify. He's about the size of my Juggernaut, and this thing is immense. And this is how I actually like to picture my villains. When you have a big villain that's supposed to be like imposing, I want that villain to look that way on the shelf. I don't want it to look the same size as the person he's supposed to be battling, because then I'm going to be like, he could easily beat you. So he comes with heads, hands, well, not heads, but he comes with hands and all the great little features with this. So I'm very, very excited to do this. Now I got to get a Loki. Now I got to get everybody, an Odin and everybody. So I'm not sure if I'm going to go that far, but this might make me kick into Avengers and then just have little scenes. Or maybe I'll just keep Thor battling the Destroyer by himself, and we'll just call it a day. Alright, so those were my pickups this week. Actually, when I was at Ross, I actually did get the Death of Superman book. I've never actually read that. As big of a fan as I am for the Death of Superman, I actually never read it, so I'm gonna read that. Go to Ollie's if you want to get graphic novels. That's a good place to go. It's very, very cheap, and they tend to have a lot of the most popular storylines. So definitely go ahead and do that. Other thing in toy news, the only thing I can think about is Mondo. It had put up a picture for their Thundercats, or at least from Lion-O. I am hit or miss with this. One, Mondo's way out of my price range. I'm not spending $200 and something for one particular character, and I know this Lion-O comes with Snarf, but that's too much for a character. He's 12 inches. That is Hot Toys-esque, even though he's more articulated than the Hot Toys, but at least the Hot Toys kind of say they use real fabric and stuff. So, and the likenesses are they're paying for the likenesses of the actual actors. So I get that with Hot Toys, but for Mondo, and Mondo is great. They do great sculpts. They match everything as well. They add a whole bunch of. They like Super 7, but more expensive. And if I can't afford Super 7, I can't afford Mondo. And then I don't collect the 12-inch line, so it's not going to be something I'm going to be looking to get into. But my thought process is with looking at the actual figure is that I'm not a big fan of all the sculpted fur. I think with Lion-O, especially if you look at the animation, you can kind of get away with it, kind of leaving it flat. And I know Mondo wants to do something different, but I would have rather if they left it flat. But though, it would have looked like Super 7 or NECA's. So I see why they may have made the change to do it, but I felt like the scale was big enough to where that's their difference between the two for your 12-inch, your 1/6 collectors versus your 1/12 collectors. All right, so that's all I got this week, and I wanted to talk about it. Didn't have a lot of pickups this week. Hopefully, I'll get some more stuff in. Hopefully, the Stinger comes in for G.I. Joe. That's supposed to come in. My loose collector figures are supposed to come in. Hopefully, they will be in, and a couple other things are supposed to be in. So we'll talk about all that next week, if that stuff does come in, or I'll talk about whatever I picked up from Ross or Ollie's, because I'm still out looking for that Captain Carter shield and that Doom Photon or Spectrum 2 set. I think I want that as well too, or maybe the Red Skull. Maybe I'll get that as well too. All right, you guys take care.